Estimating categorical by continuous moderation with regression in SPSS. In another video, we have created an interaction predictor for the moderation of the exposure effect by smoking status. Now let's estimate a regression model containing this type of moderation. We go to Analyze, Regression, Linear. We use the attitude towards smoking as the dependent or outcome variable. We include exposure as a predictor. We include smoking status as a predictor. Remember, it's a dummy variable coded 0 or 1. And we also include the interaction variable, which will capture the moderation. And finally, just to complicate things, let's include contact with smokers as a covariate, as another predictor which is not included in the moderation. As usual, we want to have the confidence intervals, and in addition, it is recommended to use the descriptives, which will give us the average scores and the standard deviations for all the variables in the model, and that will be handy later on. If we want to check the assumptions for regression analysis, we must make some plots, but this is explained in another video, so let's skip it here. Let's paste and run. And here is the output. The first table presents the descriptive statistics, telling us the mean scores and the standard deviations. We will use them in another video. Let's just jump to the coefficients. If the regression model contains moderation, the standardized coefficients or betas that are presented by SPSS are not correct, so we should not use them. Focusing on the unstandardized coefficients, we have minus 0.12 for the effect of exposure. Now you must understand that this is the effect for the reference category or the zero category on the moderator. So this is the slope of the regression line for the non-smokers who are coded 0 on the smoking status variable. So for non-smokers, there is a slightly negative effect of exposure on attitude towards smoking, and the 95% confidence interval tells us that it is most likely to be between minus 0.25 and plus 0.1. So it includes 0. And the statistical test is not significant at the 0.05 level, but the confidence interval suggests that it's quite likely that the effect is negative in the population. Then there is smoking status, 1.98, say 2, which is the average difference between smokers and non-smokers in their attitude towards smoking. Smokers have about 2 points higher attitude towards smoking than non-smokers. That's a substantial difference. On a scale from -5 to +5 is also statistically significant, and the confidence interval is entirely positive, ranging from 0.5 to 3.5 as a difference between smokers and non-smokers. And then we get the effect of the interaction variable, exposure by smoker. The unstandardized coefficient is -0.3 here, which is the difference in the slope for smokers with respect to the slope for the reference group, the non-smokers. So the slope for smokers will be -0.3 in addition to the -0.1 for the non-smokers. So here the effect of exposure on attitude is clearly more negative. It's also statistically significant at the 0.05 level, and according to the confidence interval, the difference between the slope of the smokers and the non-smokers will be negative, ranging somewhere between -0.61 and -0.05. Finally, there's the effect of contact with smokers, which is positive. More contact with smokers predicts a more positive attitude towards smoking, and this effect can be interpreted straight away because it's not involved in the moderation. So the interpretation of moderation is quite complicated. Another video explains how to visualize the moderation as different regression lines in a scatter plot, and that's much more easy to interpret.